The night before signing the contract, I finally discovered that Gu James had transferred our law firm's most important client to Lynn Amelia's company. I asked him why. He smiled casually and said, "Oh, Amelia handled it. She said she wanted to give you a surprise. You can just change it back yourself." Lynn Amelia, that returnee elite who'd been clinging to Gu James ever since she came back from the US. I fell silent for a long time. So this project, which I'd spent 3 years fighting to secure, could be tossed around like a surprise by someone else. I said nothing more. I just packed up my things and submitted my resignation letter the next day. But Gu James's expression suddenly changed. "Didn't I tell you to change it back? Why didn't you do it?" I didn't. Gu James should have known exactly what this project meant to me. It was my first major client since moving up from a small law firm, and my only chance to prove myself. We'd been childhood sweethearts for 20 years. He knew better than anyone how much I cared about this opportunity. Yet now Lynn Amelia's name was listed as the project owner. As I revised my resignation letter, I called Gu James. He brushed it off with an explanation. "Forgot to tell you, Amelia came to the company yesterday, saw your project materials, and said she wanted to help you optimize the plan. The official signing is tomorrow. You can just change it back yourself." Gu James's tone was so light, as if he'd just moved a folder to a different location. I stared at my computer screen, a strange mix of emotions churning in my chest. Still, I asked him, "So you think this doesn't matter at all? Are you angry again?" Gu James shot back, "Is that necessary? It's not like you can't change it back. This is just a kind gesture of help." I gripped the mouse tightly, my voice growing hoarse. If I hadn't found out in time, this project would have been gone for good. Lynn Amelia is breaking the law. I could even sue her. Gu James unconsciously raised his voice. "Susu, you're being completely unreasonable. It's just a favor and you want to sue Amelia? Since when did you become so petty?" His tone turned colder as he went on. "I've explained this to you so many times. She's a returnee starting a business here. She doesn't know anyone. And I'm her business partner. What's wrong with me helping her out? If you're going to sue, sue me too." Only a busy tone remained on the other end of the line. Gu James had hung up. I sat there in a daze, my mind blank for a moment. Gu James and I had been childhood sweethearts for 20 years, from elementary school all the way through law school. We'd been inseparable. In my mind, I could still see his determined little face when he saved me from school bullying at age 8. And his focused profile when he stayed up with me to prepare for the bar exam at age 22. Over 20 years, I'd grown so used to having him around that everyone said I couldn't live without him. So my career plans had been filled with him too. But now one of us at Gu Group, the other possibly leaving the legal industry with conflicts of interest and a Lynn Amelia standing between us. I could change the project ownership back with just a few clicks. But somehow I felt utterly exhausted. Even lifting the mouse felt like too much. I sat there blankly for a while until my assistant knocked and said someone was here to see me. I went out and there stood Lynn Amelia in a Chanel suit, smiling at me. "Lawyer Sue, I just called Gu James. He's in a really bad mood. We were supposed to discuss the follow-up cooperation for this project. Is that okay with you?" Lynn Amelia got straight to the point. Her voice was polite, yet laced with unapologetic showing off. This was how she'd acted around me for the past 3 months, elegant, poised, and condescendingly superior. Now, even showing up at my office, she hadn't changed. I stared at her coldly, confused about why Gu James was drawn to this two-faced woman. In fact, Gu James had been wary of her at first, thinking she was too calculating and hard to get along with. But during one project negotiation, Gu James had felt unwell from too much stress. Before I could react, Lynn Amelia had run out to buy medicine and taken care of him gently. Gu James had stared in shock for a long time after that. He still kept his distance, but he no longer pushed her away. In the end, Lynn Amelia had even become a business partner of Gu Group. Everyone in the industry knew Gu James had found a capable business associate. Me. I'd gained a new nickname, the ex-lawyer. Many of my colleagues snickered when they used it. Even Gu James never bothered to refute it. Now, was I still his lawyer? I laughed bitterly, then met Lynn Amelia's gaze directly. She looked back at me elegantly, asking again, "Lawyer Sue, can I discuss the project cooperation with Gu James? If you're uncomfortable with it, I won't go." Before I could answer, Gu James stepped out of the elevator. His brows were furrowed and his tone was annoyed. "Amelia, I told you to come find me. Why are you bothering Susu?" "Oh. I wasn't sure if I should talk to you about the cooperation directly, so I came to ask Lawyer Sue's opinion first." Lynn Amelia looked flustered, as if terrified of making Gu James angry. Gu James's expression softened and he said gently, "Silly girl, why ask Susu? If I told you to come, just come." "But..." Lynn Amelia smiled, lowering her head. She still hesitated, putting on a show of being unsure. Gu James glanced at me, a hint of displeasure in his eyes. "Look how considerate Amelia is of you. What about you? You can't even handle a simple cooperation? TSK." He still thought Lynn Amelia stealing my project was just a kind favor, and that my anger was unwarranted. But why was I the one in the wrong? I pointed at Lynn Amelia and snapped, "Considerate of me? What kind of tricks has this woman been playing for the past 3 months? She's poached my clients right in front of me, stolen my resources. She's shameless. Pretending to be innocent every day, but she's more calculating than anyone. Anyone who didn't know better would think she's acting in a palace drama. Calling me Lawyer Sue to my face, but secretly hoping I'd get out of the way. Just looking at her makes me sick." With every insult, Lynn Amelia's expression stiffened a little more. Finally, she lowered her head and began to cry, looking wronged. Gu James stared at me, his face dark with anger. "Are you done? Since when did you become so mean? Or do you actually want to be the ex-lawyer?" I froze. A sharp pain suddenly stabbed my chest. So even Gu James would use that humiliating nickname for me. His unspoken message was clear. "Do you want to break up? If we broke up, I really would be the ex-lawyer." I held my head high and stared at Gu James, staring for a long time. It felt like I was looking through time, revisiting the 20 years we'd spent together. Gu James held my gaze for a moment. His eyes flickered and his expression softened slightly. I understood him. We knew each other too well, one look was enough to guess what the other was thinking. Those 20 years. They were years I'd spent by his side through countless days and nights. The tenderness of staying up all night to take care of him when he was sick. The exhaustion of pulling all-nighters to help him with legal documents. The late-night snacks he'd bring me every weekend when he stayed to work overtime at the law firm with me. We'd never been apart. And we'd never been willing to hurt each other. But this time Gu James was different. Even though his tone had softened, he still chose to defend Lynn Amelia. "Amelia is magnanimous, she's not holding this against you. Just apologize to her and we'll drop this." In an instant, those 20 years together felt like they'd been crushed to dust by an invisible hand. I looked away from him, a relieved smile spreading across my face. "No." The softness in Gu James's expression vanished, replaced by darkness. "Susu, you're testing my limits." Since when did Gu James have limits? Oh right, he'd always had them. Once his limit had been me. He'd never let anyone hurt me. But unfortunately his limits were too flexible. Now Lynn Amelia was his new limit. Suddenly I felt nothing but indifference. I turned and walked away. "Do whatever you want." Gu James clenched his fists, then turned and left, still protecting Lynn Amelia. I went back to my office and stared at the project documents again. It was already 5 p.m. In 7 hours the client would arrive to sign the contract. After tonight this project would never be mine again. And I'd have to leave this law firm. But I didn't change anything. I just stared at the documents silently for a while, then started packing up my personal belongings. Packing up 3 years of my hard work. Before I knew it, midnight had come. It was time for the contract signing. Surprisingly, I felt calm, nothing like the anger I'd felt earlier. Turns out, working without Gu James wasn't the end of the world. I shut down my computer and my best friend Xiaoya called me on video chat, her face filled with outrage. "Susu, guess who I saw at the club? Gu James and Lynn Amelia with a bunch of business partners. They're celebrating the project's success, and Gu James and Lynn Amelia look so intimate." Xiaoya pointed her phone camera at a private room, inching closer quietly. I saw Gu James. He was surrounded by business elites, all raising their glasses. Director Gu, this cooperation was perfect. Director Lin has such a sharp business mind. Gu James was beaming. Beside him, Lin Amelia wore a triumphant smile. As the only female entrepreneur there, all the praise was centered on her. Just then, a greasy middle-aged man egged him on. Director Gu could invite other friends to celebrate too, like that pretty female lawyer you know. Haha, right. Kolf the ex-lawyer. Over here too. The whole group burst into laughter. Lin Amelia pouted and unconsciously leaned closer to Gu James. Gu James didn't push her away. He scratched his hair in annoyance, hesitated for a moment, then pulled out his phone anyway. Lin Amelia's face instantly turned a little tense. Gu James didn't even look at her, he just dialed my number. I answered and Gu James spoke in a stern tone. I've calmed down a bit now. I was too impulsive earlier today. Come to the celebration. Apologize to Amelia and we can go back to working together. I stayed silent, my voice cold. Gu James frowned. Say something. Is it really that hard for you to apologize? It's not hard, I said. It's impossible. Impossible forever, just like how I could never go back to that law firm again. Fine. Keep being stubborn then if you have the guts. Gu James's anger flared up. I'm about to officially announce my partnership with Amelia. Do you know what that means? I didn't answer. I just hung up. Moments later, my best friend Xiaoya called me back on video. On the screen, Gu James had smashed his wine glass. No one dared to speak. Lin Amelia comforted him softly. James, don't be like this. Don't get angry. Who said I'm angry? Gu James suddenly looked up at the camera. He'd noticed Xiaoya a long time ago. Xiaoya panicked and tried to run. Gu James sneered. Keep filming. Let your best friend watch what I'm about to announce. He stood up abruptly, holding his wine glass high. Everyone, I officially announce Lin Amelia will become a partner of Gu Group. Lin Amelia's legs went weak. She threw her arms around him, her face filled with surprise. The room erupted in thunderous applause. My heart still tightened just for a split second, like someone had slammed a fist into it. But then a breeze blew and the pain faded away. I ended the video call and walked downstairs, feeling an overwhelming sense of relief. Mom, help me contact some law firms in other cities. I'm moving to work somewhere else. If this place couldn't tolerate me, then I'd build a new life elsewhere. I knew starting over wouldn't be easy, but it was still better than staying here, enduring other people's judgmental looks. So the next day I met up with Xiaoya and went to interview at the city's top law firm. I wanted to prepare for my future in advance. Xiaoya looked shocked. After what Gu James did to you last night, you still have the mood to go to an interview? I smiled. Why wouldn't I? Work was my life. The interview went smoothly. The interviewers were impressed by my professional skills. I was in a great mood, even humming a song on my way home. Xiaoya studied my expression, then asked again, have you moved on? I saw Gu James and Lin Amelia. They're totally together now. I didn't answer. When we passed Central Park, I told Xiaoya to go home first. I went into the park alone, standing by the lake to feel the wind. I'd loved coming here as a kid. Whenever my parents fought, this place was my safe haven. When I was 8, some classmates bullied me and I'd hidden here to cry. Back then, I didn't know how to fight back. I just felt wronged and scared sitting by the lake alone. Then little James walked by. He sat with me until it got dark. That was the first time I realized someone would protect me. So that naive little girl became the boy's shadow, following him everywhere. We'd done homework by the lake, fed the ducks, shared snacks, and sipped from the same cup of milk tea. When we hit puberty, we'd come to the pavilion in the middle of the lake on weekend nights, talking about our dreams and futures. James loved lying with his head on my lap, staring at the stars and saying random things like, "Susu, you smell like flowers." I'd blush and say, "No, I don't." I didn't know it then, but that's when the ambiguity started, when our feelings for each other began to take shape, hazy but real. At 18, James stayed up with me late into the night to prepare for the college entrance exam. When I got tired, he'd hold me in his arms, letting me rest my head on his shoulder. That sense of security, I'd wanted it for the rest of my life. So, had I really moved on from him? Truth was, I hadn't. But Lynn Amelia had helped me. 3 months ago, she'd burst into our circle out of nowhere and forced her way into becoming James's business partner. After that, on weekend nights, I was the only one left staring at the stars. Every weekend I'd go there alone. Maybe I wasn't even there to watch the stars. After all, I wasn't a kid anymore. I just wanted to ask James out. But he'd always say he was in a meeting, at a work dinner, or discussing a project. And every time there'd be a soft, feminine voice in the background. 1 month before I quit, I went to the lake pavilion again. This time I didn't ask James to come. I just sat there quietly, staring at the stars in a daze. Until I heard hurried footsteps and a strong smell of alcohol hit my nose. My dad, drunk, had come looking for me. He grabbed me and started yelling, "You ungrateful girl. You're out here slacking off when you're about to sign a big project. Do you really think I can't control you?" Without warning, he slapped me across the face. I knew he was just taking his anger out on me. His business had been struggling lately and debt collectors showed up at our door every day. He was dead drunk and he'd decided to take out all his old and new frustrations on me. I was so scared my whole body shook. My vision blurred and I tasted blood in my mouth. "Useless thing," he shouted. "Brainwashed by a man at your age, and you actually think you're some kind of strong woman." He shoved me to the ground and kicked me hard twice. "I worked my ass off to raise you for over 20 years. Is this how you repay me? You don't even help the family make money, but you run around fawning over people." I don't remember how I got through that. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. The doctor said they needed to contact my family. My dad had already run off. My mom was working in another city. I was all alone. I had no choice but to call James. I called 12 times. He never answered. I told myself he must be busy, but then I checked my moments. Lynn Amelia had posted something. She'd shared a photo of herself with James. The background was the presidential suite of a luxury hotel, and James, in a crisp suit, had his arm around her waist. Her caption read, "Business dinner was a huge success. Thanks to my amazing partner." And James had liked the post. I sat there in a daze. All the pain in my body went numb. In the end, I had to ask Xiaoya to bring her mom to take care of me. The next afternoon, James finally called me back. "What happened last night? I just saw your missed calls." My face was wrapped in bandages. I held back the tears in my eyes. I asked him, how was his night at the hotel with Lynn Amelia? James fell silent for a moment, then sighed and explained, "Are you overthinking again? I know you're worried about our partnership, but let's be honest, you're tired of these work dinners too, right? There's nothing between Amelia and me. We just discussed the project until late. The hotel has meeting rooms. After we finished, we went back to our own rooms. I called you as soon as I woke up. Isn't that enough? Discussing work was fine. Discussing work in a hotel was fine. But taking a photo with his arm around her waist? That wasn't fine." But I hesitated for a long time and no words came out. For James, not staying with me to watch the stars was fine too. Later, when I left the hospital and went back to the law firm, James and Lynn Amelia, that partner pair, were already inseparable. Me. I'd become the ex-lawyer. The wind picked up at the lake pavilion as night fell. I pulled myself out of my memories and walked home calmly. Unexpectedly, I got a message from James. "Did you change the project owner back to your name?" "None of your business," I replied. I didn't want to tell him I was leaving. James sent a voice message. "I know you definitely changed it back. You've been by my side for 20 years. You can't live without me. Before you quit, you have to apologize to Amelia. If you don't, you'll have to find a new job on your own. I won't recommend you. We'd made a promise a long time ago. If I ever wanted to switch law firms, James would write me a recommendation letter. That way it would be easier to get into a good one. I had the skills, but his recommendation would have been the cherry on top. But no. I didn't need his recommendation anymore. I said nothing more. I just blocked James's number. 2 weeks later, James's mom suddenly came to visit, and she was holding an invitation card. "Susu, take your mom to James's celebration dinner tonight, okay?" I said I wouldn't go. Aunt Gu looked shocked. Why not? Did you two have a fight? I said I didn't have time, I needed to pack my luggage tonight. Pack tomorrow instead, she insisted. Tonight is important. Don't be a stranger. Aunt Gu was smiling brightly. And my mom had already nodded, agreeing to go. I had no choice. I had to go to James's celebration dinner that night. I was confused. Why was James having this dinner so late? When I arrived, I understood. It was for Lynn Amelia. Lynn Amelia was wearing a formal dress, greeting guests at the hotel entrance with a bright smile. When she saw me, she warmly took my hand. Lawyer Sue, you're here. Come on in and sit anywhere. James and I booked the whole place tonight. She explained with a grin. Today's my official first day at Gu Group. I was worried the celebration wouldn't be grand enough, so I asked James to combine his success dinner with mine. So it was 2 dinners rolled into one. No wonder it was so lively. I just said, oh, to show I understood. Lynn Amelia smiled, and the pride in the corner of her eyes was impossible to hide. After the dinner started, Mom and I found a seat in the corner, keeping to ourselves. But James came over. He looked helpless, his tone tinged with irritation. Susu, come sit at the main table. Why are you hiding over here? I said I wouldn't, I was leaving soon. James took a deep breath, his brows furrowed tight. Susu, stop being difficult. I gave you 2 weeks to cool down, isn't that enough? I shook my head again. James clenched his teeth. When haven't we sat together at gatherings? Is this really worth throwing a fit over? His voice drew quite a few glances. Mom hurried to nudge me. Shawan, let's go over there. She dragged me to James's table. James finally looked satisfied. But there was still an empty seat next to him. Then I saw Lynn Amelia walking over, radiant as ever. The Gu family welcomed her warmly. After all, her company was truly capable. Oh, Lawyer Sue's here too, she said. Perfect timing, James and I were just talking about our next project. Opportunities like this don't come often, right? She smiled, dimples showing. Lawyer Sue, why don't we work on this together? James said he's taking me to meet important clients. I pressed my lips together. I remembered James once promising me after we secured this project he'd take me to meet his father's key clients. That was his way of acknowledging my career. And a confirmation of our relationship. We'd known each other for 20 years, we'd even bathed together as kids. Why, then, did the thought of meeting important clients with him still make my heart race when we were adults? But that was the past. Now my heart didn't race at all. I only felt bitterness. Because that night at the club, James had announced his partnership with Lynn Amelia in front of everyone. You two go ahead, I said, my voice calm. I have other plans. Lynn Amelia's eyes lit up obviously and her smile grew even brighter. But James frowned. Under the table he tried to take my hand. I lifted my chopsticks to grab food. I'm starving, I won't stand on ceremony. After the dinner I went to the restroom. James followed me. He grabbed my hand tightly. Susu, what's your problem? No problem at all, I said. I pulled my hand away. James was so angry he laughed. How long are you gonna keep this up? Just change the project owner back, isn't that simple? I asked Amelia too. She was gonna tell you that day anyway. You just noticed the document was wrong first. Even if you hadn't, Amelia would have explained everything to you. Really? If I hadn't noticed, Lynn Amelia would have had 1,000 excuses to avoid telling me. She'd never have volunteered the truth. I said, tell her I said thanks. Cut the sarcasm, he snapped. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll come pick you up. We're meeting the important clients together. I promised you that. He turned and stormed off. The next morning at 10 I looked down from my window. James and Lynn Amelia were sitting in the car, glancing up at the building repeatedly. I didn't move an inch. James honked the horn. I pulled the curtains shut. Susu, don't regret this. James yelled, furious. If you're gonna be this stubborn, don't ever expect my help again. He took Lynn Amelia to meet the important clients. And that day he posted dozens of updates on his socials. Lynn Amelia was in every single one. Xiaoya was so disgusted she took screenshots and sent them to me. My partner to meet key clients, rising stars in business really are different. Amelia was nervous, I had to cheer her on. Clients all loved Amelia. Beauty and brains really are a rare combo. Under these posts, many of our colleagues left comments. Wait, didn't he say he'd take lawyer Sue? Why'd he switch people? The ex-lawyer must be crying her eyes out, haha. Gotta say that returnee elite is impressive. Director Gu has good taste. Director Gu, don't get too wrapped up in her. I read them all without a flicker of emotion. Xiaoya was fuming. That jerk did this on purpose. He's just trying to annoy you. Annoy me? I wasn't annoyed. I just found it ridiculous. In early September, I packed my bags ready to report to the new law firm in another city. I'd booked a high-speed train ticket in advance and left early on the morning of August 31st. I wanted to get there early to settle in, no need to rush and make mistakes. The trip went smoothly, high-speed train then taxi. Soon I arrived in this new city. That first night I stayed in a hotel. Looking at the unfamiliar night view, my feelings were mixed. But everything else was good. I even tried the local specialty food. Tasted great. At dawn, I'd spent my first night in this new city. Then Mom called me. I frowned slightly. Mom, what's wrong? James asked when you're coming back to work. I told him you already left for the new city, but he doesn't believe me. He says you're just hiding in your room throwing a tantrum. I knit my brows. Didn't James say he wouldn't help me anymore? Before I could reply, James's voice came through the phone. Auntie, tell Susu to come down, he said. I've given her enough time to calm down. Starting today, she's back to work. Let's put the fighting aside, we'll talk when she gets to the company. James's tone was sharp, full of impatience. Mom sounded confused. Calm down? James, Susu really left. She left yesterday. She even asked me to sell her car for her. Left yesterday? James sounded skeptical, but his tone was still annoyed. Whatever. I'll go upstairs and find her myself. Mom urged him anxiously. Don't bother. Susu booked the high-speed train ticket a long time ago. She really left yesterday. James's footsteps paused. Suddenly his voice turned panicked. High-speed train ticket? What high-speed train? You don't need a high-speed train to go somewhere nearby. She's going to work in another city. Mom said. Didn't Susu tell you? The other end of the line went completely silent. Then came the sound of James gasping for breath, like he'd seen a ghost. I hung up the phone directly. My new life had begun. After the initial unease faded, I started to enjoy the wind in this city, the trees here, even every leaf that fell. People always adapt to their surroundings in the end. For 20 years I'd always stayed by James's side, never changing my environment. Now I was alone in a strange city, stepping into a brand new life, one step at a time. But James came. He stopped me outside the law firm. His eyes were dark, the rims red. Why? He asked. He ground his teeth, trying to stop his lips from trembling. I sighed and tried to walk around him. He grabbed my hand with all his strength, his voice hoarse. Is this really because Amelia tried to help you? You're gonna treat me like this over that? Yes. I stared at him just like I had for 20 years. But this time there was no feeling in my gaze at all. Yes, I said. I'm petty. I can't accept betrayal. I gave James an explanation. His teeth chattered. Susu, you can't do this. You know I can't live without you. I only see Amelia as a business partner. Announcing the partnership at the club was just for show. I took her to meet the clients only because I wanted you to see it, to make you care. His nose turned red, his voice growing even hoarser. You're so cruel. You gave me a fatal blow without a word. Why won't you come back to work? Was that help really that big of a deal? I looked at him quietly, then shook my head. Fine. That help, it wasn't that big of a deal actually. James froze, staring at me. I asked him a question. Last month when you stayed at the hotel with Lynn Amelia, did you know where I was? At the lake pavilion, James said quickly. He was always smart. You were there waiting for me, right? I was wrong. I shouldn't have had that meeting with Amelia alone. I should have been with you. I said nothing for a long time. Then I slowly pushed his hand away. James, that night. My dad came back. James froze stiff. Worry flashed across his face and he pulled me into a tight hug without hesitation. Did he hit you? I nodded. I was waiting for you at the lake pavilion. He slapped me again and again. Kicked me over and over. I smiled as if talking about something trivial. He called me useless, said I was brainwashed by a man. The smell of alcohol on him was disgusting, and the taste of blood in my mouth was bitter. At my words, James began to tremble violently. His pupils contracted repeatedly, and his fists clenched so tight they turned white, like a beast on the verge of madness. I tilted my head to look up at him, my eyes empty and cold. That night I was in so much pain. But you were in a crisp suit with your arm around Amelia's waist, taking photos and having a great time. You missed 12 of my calls. James let out a painful low growl. He slammed his fist against the wall beside us, his jaw clenched so hard it looked like it might break. I sniffled softly, but it's okay now. I'm fine, better than I've ever been. Let's part ways here. And tell Amelia thank you for me. I accepted her help. And I really like this new city. I don't know when James left. All I know is he didn't pester me anymore. A week later, Mom called to tell me my dad had been beaten and sent to the hospital. She said he'd started a fight at a bar and gotten what he deserved. I knew right away it was James. He was always smart, he knew how to vent his anger without getting himself into trouble. I didn't pay it much mind. I just focused on enjoying my new job. During the National Day holiday, I went back home for a visit. I ran into Lynn Amelia right outside my house. She'd come specifically to wait for me. Our eyes met. Gone was the elegance she usually wore, only anger and resentment remained in her gaze. Susie, you must be so happy now. James refuses to work with me anymore. Her voice dripped with bitterness. I just don't get it. What makes you better than me? Are you prettier? More capable? Do you have a better background? She stepped closer, her eyes boring into mine. You're nothing compared to me. The only reason you won is because you met James earlier. Her rambling annoyed me. What are you even going on about? Instead of wasting time complaining here, you should focus on your work. Amelia froze, then scoffed. Don't get too cocky. You're stuck in another city, but I'm still here, right where he is. So what if he loves you? Thousands of kilometers are enough to change everything. I'm right here waiting for my chance. No one knows who'll win in the end. It was a declaration of war. I was tired of listening. I turned to leave. Well, good luck to you. Go get him. Amelia froze again. From the shadow of the corner, a thin figure stepped out. James had a scruffy beard and his eyes were dull, nothing like the sharp business elite he used to be. I paused, looking at him calmly. But Amelia panicked. She smoothed her hair and forced a smile. James, you're back too. I was just passing by. Get out. James's voice was low and strained. Tears welled up in Amelia's eyes instantly. She reached out to hug him, sobbing, James, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come to see Susu on my own, but I couldn't help it. Why am I not good enough? Why her and not me? I said get out. Amelia walked away looking like a lost soul. James stared at me, unable to say a word for a long time. I turned to go inside, but he finally spoke. Susu, I'm going to sell the company. I'll start over in the city where you work. I'm coming to find you. I said nothing. James forced a smile. I know I made a terrible mistake. That's why I'm going to make it up to you with action. Wait for me there, I promise I'll come find you. His tone was sincere, like he was taking an oath. But I didn't need his oaths. I still said nothing. James grew anxious. Susu, give me a chance. I really can't live without you. I'll come to you right away, can't we start over? Oh. I felt no anticipation for that at all. For 20 years I'd looked forward to seeing James every day. I'd looked forward to our dates by the lake, to him staying late with me at work, to him brushing my hair and saying I'd worked hard. But now, all I wanted was for him to stop disturbing me. So I sighed softly. James, do you really think this makes sense? James could barely stand. The words died in his throat. In the end, he stumbled away, disappearing into the darkness of the night. I went inside and spent 2 peaceful days with Mom, enjoying a proper break. After the holiday, I returned to the new city and threw myself into work. I'd always been a bit lazy with no big ambitions. Having James take care of me for so long had made me dependent, lacking in decisiveness. But now alone I'd found a new drive. Promotion and a raise, I was determined to get them. 2 years later I was promoted to partner smoothly and set my sights on even higher goals. I went home several times during those years but rarely saw James. Shaya told me he really had sold his company. He worked like a madman trying to rebuild his career in the city where I lived. He had plenty of suitors, of course, handsome and wealthy as he was. As for Lynn Amelia, she'd kept trying to win him back and had long become a joke in their circle. She'd even been warned by a lawyer for harassing James repeatedly. So yes, letting love cloud your judgment was never a good idea. I never fell in love again. I just couldn't summon the interest. On quiet nights, I'd occasionally think back to that 8-year-old boy with the worried little face. But then I'd smile and the memory would fade. I'd long since made peace with it. 5 years after the law firm was founded, I finally became the managing partner, earning one of the top honors in the industry. All the hardships and struggles of those years had become the soil that nurtured my growth. I'd been reborn, completely changed. When I got home, Mom didn't even recognize me. She looked nervous, speaking politely. "Ma'am, who are you looking for?" I couldn't help but laugh. "Ma'am? What kind of a dress was that?" "I'm not a ma'am," I said. "I'm your daughter, Susu." I hugged her tightly, my heart full. Mom froze. She stared at me for a long time, then burst into tears. "Shawan. My Shawan." My eyes turned red too. I didn't want to let her go. During dinner, Mom made her famous sweet and sour spare ribs her specialty. She started talking about the past as we ate. "James used to love these ribs too," she said. "Back then you begged me to teach you how to make them for him. You burned your hands so many times. He felt so bad for you." Did I? My memories were fuzzy. I could barely even remember what James liked to eat anymore. Mom kept talking, not noticing my silence. "I saw that boy yesterday. He was standing outside staring at your bedroom window. He's gotten so thin. I also heard his mom say he started a new company in the city where you work. He's doing really well now, good enough for you, I'd say." Oh no. Here came the marriage talk. I held up a hand to stop her, suddenly losing my appetite for the ribs. That's how parents were, always worrying about their kids' love lives. I made an excuse to go out, wanting to wander around my hometown, which felt so unfamiliar now. The commercial street had been expanded, the landmarks had changed, and the old houses had been torn down. Only Central Park remained the same. I walked around the lake. Not far away I saw someone sitting on a bench. He was tall and lean, wearing a black suit. A can of beer sat beside him. He looked mature, steady, yet exhausted. He stood out against the park's peaceful vibe, like a business executive eating barbecue at a street stall. People nearby kept glancing at him, especially the women out for walks, their eyes filled with curiosity. I paused, a faint sigh escaping me. "James. Long time no see." I walked toward him. Just then James's phone rang. He answered and his voice shook with excitement. "Mom, you really saw Susu? She's back." Okay. I'll go find her right now." He hung up, turned to leave, and our eyes met. I smiled and nodded. "James. Hello." He froze in place, his eyes wide. Without warning they turned red. But he couldn't speak. He just fumbled with his hair and tie, looking flustered. After a long moment he calmed down a little. He looked at me, a mix of surprise and admiration in his eyes. I gestured for him to sit. We sat on the bench together, watching a young couple in the lake pavilion steal a kiss. I couldn't help but chuckle. Youth was such a beautiful thing. James finally spoke. "Susu. I barely recognize you now. I've been waiting for you for 5 years. All this time I kept thinking, what kind of man would be good enough for you? So I never dared to slack off. I worked like crazy, started over just to build a life that would let me stand beside you. I waited until I thought you'd be willing to see me. But now that we've met again, I realize no man could ever be good enough for you." He talked for a long time, no trace of the arrogant, naive boy he'd been remained in his words. I listened quietly, nodding now and then. 5 years had flown by and so many of the feelings between us had faded away. At least for me, those once heart-wrenching pains were no longer realer than the pressure of my current work. That betrayal of altering the project which used to keep me up all night could now be summed up simply as a workplace lesson. The scars left by my father's fists and kicks at the lake pavilion, and the 12 missed calls from James, none of them stirred the slightest ripple in me anymore. That was the magic of time. It took James a long time to finish speaking. Then he asked, nervous and uneasy, "Susu, you came to see me on your own. Is there something you want to say?" The question stumped me. What did I have to say? Nothing. I'd just come home, run into an old friend and wanted to say hello. That was all. So I smiled at him. I just wanted to say hi. James's face paled. He forced a smile. "Oh. Right. Well then, can I take this chance to apologize to you? I was young and impulsive back then. I did things without thinking about the consequences and I hurt you. I'm sorry." I hummed in response, a sign that I accepted his apology. Then silence fell between us. I stood up to leave, but James mustered up the courage to stop me. "Susu, if you've accepted my apology, can we start over?" As if fearing my refusal, he kept talking, words tumbling out. "I've waited for you for 5 years. All these years I've kept an eye on you. I've been to the city where you work 180 times. I sat outside your law firm countless afternoons. I've seen you shine in court and I've seen you working late alone in cafes. Truly, I never forgot you." His eyes were filled with deep affection, and his fingers trembled uncontrollably. He was terrified of my rejection. I was a little surprised. "James, you really are persistent." But I'd already forgotten most of our past. I'd forgotten you loved sweet and sour spare ribs. I'd forgotten that worried little face of yours that once made my heart flutter. I'd even forgotten what that bone-deep pain felt like when you hurt me. So I shook my head gently. "I'm sorry. I can never love you again." James lost all his strength in an instant. His straight back hunched over and he stared blankly at his shoes, motionless for a long time. I waved my hand. "Goodbye." James looked up, tears streaming down his face. "Susu. So you still hate me?" I paused, turned around and smiled. "James, let me leave you with one thing. The worst outcome between people isn't not loving each other anymore, it's not hating each other. I stopped hating you a long time ago. So, I wish you well." James froze. He mumbled to himself, then collapsed into loud sobs. I paid him no more mind. I stepped forward, walking toward the setting sun. I'd loved the sunset at Central Park since I was a kid, because that streak of evening glow was always breathtakingly beautiful. Today it was more stunning than ever before.